Ever wonder why people less capable, less deserving are racing ahead of you? It's not because they're better. It's not because they're stronger. They're simply more certain. They walk into the room like it belongs to them. They speak as if their words are final and the world adjusts around them. Meanwhile, you hesitate. You calculate. You look for the right words, the right approval, the right moment. And while you wait, someone bolder, though less capable, takes what should have been yours. Understand this. The world doesn't reward the best. It rewards the most certain. History isn't written by the most deserving. It's written by the most decisive. Confidence is not a gift. It is not a personality trait. It is a weapon. And if you don't know how to wield it, you will remain a servant in a world built for rulers. From childhood, you've been trained to be agreeable, praised for being polite, rewarded for being nice, taught that approval is the highest prize. You were molded to follow rules, to obey without question, to soften your words and shrink your presence. What lives inside you right now is not a ruler, it is a servant. That servant apologizes before speaking. That servant second-guesses every move. That servant seeks comfort in validation. And until you kill that servant, the ruler inside you will remain buried. The servant fears disapproval. The ruler thrives on it. The servant waits to be chosen. The ruler chooses himself. The servant asks, "Is this okay?" The ruler says, "This is how it will be." The first transformation begins here. Stop mistaking hesitation for humility. Stop mistaking obedience for virtue. They are not virtues. They are chains. How do rulers move? Not quickly, not nervously, but slowly, deliberately, with the calm patience of predators. Lions don't rush. They wait. They conserve. They strike only when the moment guarantees victory. Your presence must speak before your mouth does. Walk slower. Breathe deeper. Stop glancing for approval. Stand still long enough for people to feel uneasy. Because silence is pressure. Stillness is dominance. And the man who can command silence owns the room. Most men are desperate to fill silence because it reveals their insecurity. They ramble. They explain. They overshare. They confuse noise with authority. But power doesn't rush to be heard. Power makes others wait for it. Speak less, mean more. Eliminate the softness from your words. No more. "I could be wrong." No more. "Does that make sense?" No more. "I just think maybe." These are escape hatches for the weak. Close them. When you speak, speak like you're delivering a verdict, not a suggestion. Slow, calm, and final. Your words are not open for debate. They are decrees. And when you leave silence behind them, people will scramble to fill it with obedience, with agreement, with submission. Here's the secret Machiavelli knew centuries ago. People don't follow truth. They follow conviction. They don't need proof. They need certainty. A confident lie has built more empires than a timid truth ever will. You think accuracy will save you? It won't. You think being right will earn you power? It won't. Power belongs not to the correct, but to the certain. If you speak like a decision, others assume you are right. If you hesitate, others assume you are wrong. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Rulers don't wait for readiness. They declare readiness into existence. Rejection is what weak men fear most. They take it personally. They crumble, they sulk, they explain themselves. But to the ruler, rejection is not a wound. It is a map. Rejection tells you who underestimated you. Rejection tells you who cannot see your value. Rejection tells you where you are too common, too available, too obvious. That's not defeat. That's intelligence. So you don't react. You don't argue. You don't beg to be seen. You withdraw. You vanish. You turn absence into a weapon. What happens when something once taken for granted disappears? Its value skyrockets. Your silence creates pressure. Your distance creates curiosity. And while they wonder where you went, you build, you sharpen, you refine, you evolve beyond their reach. When you return, you are no longer the man they rejected. You are the man they can no longer ignore. Most men can be manipulated with a single sentence. An insult triggers anger. A compliment triggers weakness. Silence makes them panic. If someone can move you with words, you are not powerful. You are predictable, and predictable men are pawns. The ruler is unreachable. He feels everything, but he shows nothing unless it serves his plan. Insults become data. Praise becomes information. Silence becomes opportunity. When you stop reacting, you become terrifying. People will test you, they will provoke you, they will ignore you, but nothing works, and soon they stop trying. Because you are the one man they cannot move. That is true power, not in volume, not in violence, but in emotional control. When you enter a room, you must shift its gravity, not with noise, not with arrogance, but with certainty. You walk as if you've already won. You sit as if the chair was made for you. You listen as if you're calculating every weakness in the room. When others speak, let them go first. Let them reveal their hunger, their insecurity, their need to be heard. Then, when you finally speak, you set the standard. Your words end the conversation, not extend it. The room doesn't respect the man who tries hardest to be liked. The room respects the man who doesn't care either way. Approval is irrelevant. Indifference is terrifying. Understand this. Confidence is not a trick. It is not a temporary performance. It is an identity shift. You must rewire yourself at the deepest level. Kill the need to be understood. Kill the need to be liked. Kill the need to belong. These are the addictions of servants. Rulers don't seek acceptance. They control access. You don't exist to be chosen. You exist to choose. You don't exist to be understood. You exist to be obeyed. Once you stop needing anything from anyone, you become untouchable, and untouchable men become unforgettable. This is not about arrogance. It's not about pretending. It's about reclaiming what was taken from you, the instinct to move with certainty, to speak without apology, to act without permission. When you killed a servant inside, the ruler emerges. He doesn't beg. He doesn't explain. He doesn't chase. He doesn't need. He shapes the room by existing in it. He shifts conversations with a single word. He bends outcomes with silence alone. Rejection no longer breaks him. It builds him. Failure no longer paralyzes him. It sharpens him. Approval no longer feeds him. Indifference frees him. You are no longer the man who waits. You are the man who decides. No longer the man who asks. You are the man who commands. And in that shift, from servant to ruler, you don't just gain confidence. You gain control. You don't just win respect. You create fear. Not fear of violence, but fear of irrelevance. Fear of being seen as small in your presence. That is the rise of the unmovable man. That is the death of hesitation. That is the birth of dominance. So from this moment forward, no more waiting, no more apologizing, no more shrinking. You are done being shaped by the world. You are here to shape it, because power doesn't belong to the most talented. It belongs to the most certain. And the moment you choose certainty over hesitation, the room is yours. The day is yours. The world is yours.